Have you ever noticed something strange about your own body? Imagine it's the hottest day of summer. The sun is blazing overhead. You start running, and within minutes, your shirt is completely soaked. Sweat is dripping from your forehead, your arms, even your legs. It feels uncomfortable, almost like your body is working against you. But now look around. The birds flying overhead aren't sweating. The cat resting in the shade isn't sweating. Even a horse, one of nature's greatest runners, cools itself very differently. So here's the question that scientists have been asking for decades. Why do humans sweat more than almost any other animal on Earth? It sounds like a weakness, doesn't it? Yet what if I told you that this strange ability may have helped humans survive, hunt, and eventually conquer the entire planet? In fact, without sweat, human civilization might never have existed. To understand why, we need to travel back nearly 2 million years to the African savanna. Picture a world with no cities, no roads, no weapons, and no air conditioning. Every day was a battle for survival. Early humans were surrounded by predators that were faster, stronger, and deadlier than they were. Lions could outrun them. Leopards could climb better. Hyenas had crushing jaws. Even gorillas were several times stronger. If survival depended only on speed or muscle, humans should have disappeared long ago. But evolution had another plan. Instead of making us stronger, it gave us something no other large mammal possessed to the same degree. A body built to stay cool while moving for hours under the scorching sun. That single adaptation would quietly become one of the greatest evolutionary advantages in the history of life. At first, sweating doesn't seem very impressive. It feels annoying. It ruins clothes, stings your eyes, and leaves you exhausted. But beneath every drop is an incredible piece of biological engineering. The average human has between 2 and 4 million sweat glands spread across almost the entire body. When your internal temperature begins to rise, these glands release tiny droplets of water onto your skin. As that water evaporates, it pulls heat away from your body, acting like a natural cooling system. Most animals simply don't have this luxury. Dogs cool themselves mainly by panting. Cats rest in the shade and conserve energy. Gorillas have very few functional sweat glands and avoid overheating by staying in forests where the air is cooler. Humans, however, can keep producing sweat for hours if enough water is available. It sounds simple, but this ability completely changed what our ancestors were capable of doing. Now imagine two hunters chasing the same animal across an open plain. One is a powerful predator that sprints with incredible speed, but quickly overheats. The other is a physically weaker human who never catches up in the first few minutes. Instead of sprinting, the human keeps moving at a steady pace, mile after mile, hour after hour. The blazing sun becomes the hunter's greatest ally, because while the prey struggles to cool itself, the human body keeps releasing sweat, preventing dangerous overheating. Eventually, the exhausted animal slows down, collapses, and can no longer escape. This strategy is known as persistence hunting, and many anthropologists believe it played a crucial role in human evolution. Our ancestors didn't win because they were stronger. They won because they could simply keep going when almost every other animal had to stop. That extraordinary endurance was powered by millions of tiny sweat glands working silently beneath the skin. And as scientists would later discover, sweating didn't just help humans survive, it helped shape the future of our entire species. But sweating didn't just make humans better hunters, it transformed nearly every part of our evolution. As our ancestors spent more time chasing prey across open landscapes, they began developing longer legs, stronger tendons, and more efficient hearts and lungs. Their bodies became endurance machines instead of power machines. Every successful hunt meant more food, and more food meant more energy for something incredibly expensive: the human brain. Today, your brain makes up only about 2% of your body weight, yet it consumes roughly 20% of your body's energy. That energy had to come from somewhere. By becoming efficient endurance hunters, early humans gained access to calorie-rich meat that fueled the growth of larger, more complex brains. In other words, sweating didn't just cool our bodies, It may have helped build the minds that invented language, tools, agriculture, medicine, and eventually, modern civilization. Every drop of sweat was part of a much bigger evolutionary story. There's another reason humans sweat so effectively. Unlike most mammals, we also lost much of our body fur. At first, that sounds like another terrible trade. Fur protects animals from cold weather and sunlight, so why would humans give it up? The answer is surprisingly simple. Thick fur traps heat. Imagine trying to cool yourself while wearing a heavy winter coat. Sweat would have nowhere to evaporate. By losing most of our body hair, evaporation became dramatically more efficient. Air could flow directly across the skin, carrying heat away with every passing breeze. Combined with millions of sweat glands, humans developed one of the most advanced cooling systems found in nature. It's a system so effective that trained endurance runners can outperform many faster animals over extremely long distances in hot conditions. We may never outrun a cheetah in a sprint, but under the blazing sun, humans can keep moving long after many animals have been forced to stop. Of course, this incredible ability comes with a price. Sweating causes the body to lose enormous amounts of water and essential minerals. Without regular hydration, humans quickly become dehydrated, leading to dizziness, muscle cramps, heat exhaustion, and even life-threatening heat stroke. That's why access to water became just as important as access to food throughout human history. Entire civilizations grew around rivers because staying hydrated meant staying alive. Even today, athletes, soldiers, firefighters, and marathon runners depend on the same cooling system that evolved hundreds of thousands of years ago. Every time your body begins to sweat during a workout or on a hot day, it's activating one of the oldest survival mechanisms your ancestors ever possessed. A biological system that has been protecting humans for countless generations. So the next time sweat rolls down your face, don't think of it as a flaw. Think of it as one of evolution's greatest inventions. While other animals relied on sharper teeth, thicker muscles, or greater speed, humans developed something almost invisible, but unbelievably powerful. The ability to stay cool when everyone else overheated. That simple adaptation allowed our ancestors to travel farther, hunt longer, feed larger brains, and eventually build the world we live in today. Every skyscraper, every airplane, every scientific discovery, and every step humanity has taken began with a species that learned to survive under the hottest sun on Earth. Sweat didn't make humans uncomfortable. It made us unstoppable. Sometimes, nature's greatest superpowers don't look impressive at all. They arrive one tiny drop at a time.